what we're finding is 90% of our patients are achieving almost 90% relief of their symptoms, which is unheard of. So can you straighten it?
Yeah.
Dr. Ronald Letterman is an orthopedic surgeon. He runs a busy practice in this medical building just north of Detroit. The laser has been in constant use ever since, relieving pain and promoting healing.
This dual action, low energy light laser actually increases the mitochondrial activity of the cell. What that means is it creates a supercell which promotes healing. So now, not only are we offering this laser for patients to eliminate painful conditions, and some of these patients, by the way, have called us to cancel scheduled surgeries, but we're also offering it to patients who have had surgeries, and we're finding that they're healing faster. My best guesstimate is that we are seeing a 50% reduction in the healing time.
You start reading the science behind it and all the different outcome studies, and you say, gosh, this thing maybe works.
It's probably the most transformative modality to come down the medical pathway in the last 50 years.
It's going to revolutionize the way patients are taken care of.
It's changed our practice, I think, in the ability to offer these types of treatments and the confidence I have in saying, I can help you.
What we're seeing in the clinical practice, both acute and chronic, is just amazing.
And I think this is frankly, the edge of a tidal wave. I think you're going to see within the next 5 years a significant shift in medicine towards utilization of this type of therapy for patients across the board, across specialties.
It's always better to be able to treat patients faster, get the results in the shortest amount of time possible with the latest and the best technology.
How it works is by employing two synchronized wavelengths of light, which transfer energy to damaged tissues at the cellular level.
That light triggers metabolic reactions in the cell that stimulate healing, that stimulate reduced inflammation, and stimulate pain reduction.
And so we can get a dual treatment approach, if you will, with both inflammation and pain reduction. It's unmatched. I've used other systems before and have never gotten the effect that I have with the MLS system.
And after going through the different scientific studies, a lot of them out of Harvard, I was intrigued by the impact this light energy has on the cells. And to be able to decrease the inflammation pathway and the swelling on a cellular level, it makes sense that you thereby decrease the pain.
I'm getting amazing results, and I can't wait to send other people in here to get the same benefits from it.
Even throwing a football, I can throw a football a lot better now than I could 2 years ago.
Like, I'm so excited about it, and I tell everybody about it.
Even now, after several months, I have no pain in my knee.
It was like a mega dose of Advil and ice invisibly, and it was just amazing.
It was the second treatment, and I walked out of here and I knew that something was different. And I called him back up and I said, thanks a lot, I think there may be something to this.
We now have something to offer these patients. 90% of them are getting dramatically better. For the first time in 17 years, we are offering a treatment that is not covered by insurance.
If we can avoid a medication, have a laser treatment that's non-invasive, no side effects, very limited contraindications for patients that can't have the laser treatment, then why not try some? Why not try when the results that we've been getting are 90% plus?
As we offer this to patients and as more and more patients sign up for it, we are getting more and more positive response from these patients, and it's changed the way we are practicing orthopedics.
I'm a retired physiologist from the University of Colorado Medical School. Worked there for approximately 30 years. Retired about 10 years ago. I have a PhD in physiology, and I've been working in blood flow changes throughout my whole career.
Can you highlight some of your academic and professional achievements for the last few years?
I've been very lucky in my life. When I graduated with my PhD, I went to Duke University for about 4 years on a postdoctoral fellowship to really get detailed research background and thinking in the area of kidney physiology and kidney disease. And then Colorado recruited me, and I spent about 30 years, as I said, doing research in kidney disease and blood flow, and training young people to become medical students.
Tom, over the last few years, you focused on some really exciting new technologies. One of those technologies being a project you've been collaborating on. Can you talk about this new emerging technology for the human body?
John, my interest in blood flow led me about 15 or 20 years ago to examine the effects of infrared light therapy. Some people think it's snake oil, but really it has a strong background. Infrared light therapy increases blood flow at any site in the body that it's applied to. And the beauty of this is we've been able to see research efforts in healing wounds that are difficult to heal, for example, in a diabetic, hopefully to prevent amputations or at least decrease the incidence. Improving skin blood flow in other areas of the body as well, and most recently, looking at changes in blood flow to the brain. I've been fascinated by this advance in science.
Tom, has this been taken up in the broader medical community with respect to some of the target areas that you just talked about?
It is. It's gaining greater acceptance in the last several years. The beauty of it is it's a non-invasive, drug-free way. We've been able to see an improving outcome for patients by increasing the blood flow.
What was the moment that really energized you to approach this particular field, given your background? And what was the tipping point to say, hey, this is really interesting to me, or motivated you to get into this particular area?
It's a great question, and it was almost serendipitous. I knew blood flow increased, as many of my colleagues did, that blood flow increased when you applied infrared light to the skin. The question was, what was causing this? And about 1993, a paper from Duke University suggested that red blood cells actually carry a compound, a gas called nitric oxide. And it turned out that the link was that the infrared light would release the nitric oxide from the red blood cells at the site of treatment. What is nitric oxide? In 1998, 3 Americans were given the Nobel Prize for their discovery that nitric oxide actually dilates blood vessels and improves blood flow. So it was full circle. The light increases vasodilation or blood flow. The light increases nitric oxide causes vasodilation. So it was, as I said, almost serendipitous when you put these together. But the beauty of nitric oxide is that it can help increase blood flow at any site a physician, physical therapist, chiropractor wants to increase that for his patient's benefit. But this near-infrared light is a very unique wavelength that's used for healing, if you will.
So my understanding is that you've collaborated with a team at Cerascan, a comparative imaging company that has worked with 2 military soldiers that had some brain injury suffered during conflict. What has your participation been, and what have you seen with the soldiers?
Well, I've been fascinated by your observations at Cerascan. The 2 gentlemen that you mentioned had significant injury to their brain detected by Cerascan's imaging. They underwent a series of exercise therapies and near-infrared treatment, and when you re-imaged those brains, you found a remarkable decrease in the amount of damage, if you will, to the brain. And attributing this to infrared light therapy was an easy guess for me.
One of the things that was reported by the first 2 soldiers that began this therapy was that in a relatively short period of time, 2 weeks, both were indicating that they had regained the ability to sleep through the night. Additionally, both soldiers had reported some migraine-like chronic headaches from the initial concussion. However, both also discovered after that 2-week period, the headaches seemed to have diminished. The treatment had given them a better quality of life. Do you have any thoughts about that?
Well, certainly the headache issue is one that I think I can speak to. Headaches are sort of a painful condition, and nerves in the body, and the brain as well, need good oxygen in order to function well. Think of a rubber band around your finger. You put it on, leave it on for 10 minutes, it begins to throb and hurt. The message that the brain is getting is that that finger needs more blood flow. So if pain goes down in the first couple of weeks of infrared therapy in these warfighters, it may signify the early event, which is increased blood flow and oxygen delivery to sites in the brain that would otherwise exhibit painful conditions.
So initially, what we focused on here is on a moderate traumatic brain injury group in the military. However, I believe you're inferring that there may be broader applications for the general population, such as the geriatric and pediatric worlds, if I understand what you're saying correctly.
That's correct. I think it's wide open. Infrared light is a non-invasive, drug-free way cleared by the FDA for doing two things: increasing circulation and reducing pain.
Hi, my name is Kim Munley. On November 5th, 2009, I was involved in an officer-related shooting on Fort Hood. With the 3 injuries, one of them was to my knee, which blasted into 120 pieces. The physical therapy was not helping me. Since I met Barry at Laser Healing Therapy, I've had 9 treatments, and now I have 80% of feeling back from my knee down, and I'm virtually pain-free.
I'm Barry Boyce. Call me today and let me help you get your life back without pain. LaserHealingTherapy.com.
Hi, my name is Becky.
Hi, my name is Nancy.
I was looking for a miracle because I was having issues with peripheral neuropathy.
I was involved in a jet ski accident and did not have much mobility in my neck and constant pain.
Called Barry, came in to see him.
I could turn my head to the left, to the right, look up, look down, total mobility and absolutely no pain.
My neuropathy is gone.
Laser Healing Therapy. Call today for your free consultation.
I suffered from frozen shoulder for about a little over a year. I went back to the orthopedic doctor and he said my only alternative at this point was surgery. I just knew that there was something better out there. I called Barry Boyce at Laser Healing Therapy, saw him the next day, and I started my laser treatments the week after. It's a proven alternative, and I would recommend it for anybody. You know, you can't put a price on pain. I went from being miserable to having my life back.